let us know when we're ready to go live.
Yep.
Welcome to round 12 action for the Adelaide Footy League. Coming at you from Park 9 in the Parklands, the Adelaide Footy League set to really crank up in intensity these next few months as we're getting towards the pointy end of the year and finals will be shaping up. Right now today we got the top of the ladder, Prince Alfred Old Collegians Club, being led forward by Craig Pitt, the playing coach, as they come up against a Broadview Tigers team led by Matthew Burgess, of course, that, well, they're in the hunt, they're in the mid-table. They need to find a way to grab that very fragile fifth spot on the ladder. Joining me in the box as well for the second time in a row on this Make Sure Ratify live stream is Tim Pillion. Welcome.
Morning, Indy. Thanks for coming. Yes, look, it's a beautiful day. The rain has passed us by at the moment. And yes, it's a big game for Broadview today, especially playing Prince Alfred at home where they play their ground so well.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see what type of solution Broadview can come up with today, because they're coming up against two of the best key forwards in the competition right now, and Jaden Davis and Tyson Brazel, both leading the tally in the league as leading goal kickers. But not to mention last week, it didn't matter how much firepower they had up forward, they still ended up only with the draw against the 8th place Goodwood Saints. So the question will be, does that show some type of vulnerability for Prince Alfred, or was it simply the rejuvenation of a Goodwood season on the line? We'll find that out, and Broadview will have to exploit it one way or another if they are to stand a chance in this match. Also, don't forget the Div 1 Reserves B grade match also concluded before this one. The final score 17 goals 9 to 6 goals 6 Prince Alfred with a comfortable 69-point victory over their opposition.
Broadview, Indy, started the season really well, and after 8 games they were 4 wins and 4 losses, and since then they've lost their last 3. They have played some of the top sides, and their draw is favourable heading towards the end of the season once they get past Prince Alfred today, where they'll be playing all those other teams that you mentioned that are in the mix for that coveted 5th position. Some of their best players, of course, Jay O'Leary, their captain, Sam Danielle, Ben Manning and Nick Little, all on ballers and the smaller players on the field, so let's see if they can get their hands on the ball. But their issue is scoring. They haven't kicked high scores. In fact, this year they haven't kicked 100 points at any stage, 92 being their highest, with Kobe Russell, their leading goal scorer with 11 goals for the season, not actually playing today. So goal kicking is going to be the feature and the issue for Broadview today.
Yes, season could be on the line for this Broadview team that managed to win the Division 2 Premiership last year in that grand final, although their opposition from that game, Sacred Heart, currently sitting above them on the Adelaide Footy League ladder. At the moment, Prince Alfred well on top of that, and despite the loss last week, well, not really a loss, we should say, a draw, they would still be full of a lot of confidence as we go towards the centre to inspect the coin toss. Large flick of the thumb there, and Broadview have elected to kick to the left of screen, far away from here. Very nice day by the looks of things. We actually had a slightly drier week than normal, although a wet morning to be fair. Ground conditions will still be pretty bad, but I have to say, Tim, the turf here in the Parklands is actually quite good at the moment compared to the standards of some other venues we've been to.
It's outstanding, Indy. The grass is thick, it's a thatch, it's really nice to play on, it's spongy and it's very dry. There's only 2 areas of concern right here in front of the clubhouse, where the mud and players are always in front of the change rooms, and the centre wicket, which has a cricket pitch which will be muddy and sticky. And the thing about Prince Alfred that we always note when we play here is that Craig Pitt, their playing coach, insists that the coaches and the umpires throw the ball up in the middle mud area, whereas in the B grade they always use the centre square, centre circle over to the side on the grassy area. I think Craig Pitt sees it as an advantage that his players know how to play in that sort of conditions.
And it shows confidence to play in those sort of conditions. You'll have to sink down with them if you want to compete with the Prince Alfred midfield. They are loaded with guns in Jack Trengrove, as well as, of course, Hayden Jolly, just to mention a couple of the names. And it's not even mentioning Chris Curran and the type of damage that he can do on a good day. We're about to get underway as the team's coming into their final huddles. What's your word for the day, Tim? Your prediction?
Look, at this stage, the wind is blowing to the left of screen, as we said. It's probably a 2-3 goal breeze, Indy. There is an advantage going that way. So Broadview have to start well. and they have to get goals on the board and put scoreboard pressure on. PAC are slow starters, so my prediction at this stage, if Broadview aren't close at quarter time, this is going to be a very, very, very big win for PAC going forward. And if they're in the game at quarter time, it gives them the confidence to take the game on. So I think the first quarter is everything.
Yes, thank you for all joining into our live stream as well. We look forward to providing you the best coverage possible this afternoon as both teams set to take their starting positions. Goal and field umpires doing the same. Some fans out in the sun enjoying it while it's out. A rare sight at this time of year, and sometimes a rare sight in the sport in general. You never quite know what type of conditions you'll get. Plenty of marquees set up on our side of the ground. The new club rooms also look really nice next to us as well. And a light breeze, as you said, Tim, just coming a little bit from the southwest, blowing through from that direction. Players once again taking place in that muddy centre circle, and the umpire expected to throw the ball up there as well. Of course, this is the Make Sure Ratify live stream. You're watching Prince Alfred and Broadview Tigers set to get underway, with some big action yet to come in the next 3 hours or so. It'll be a ladder-shaping game one way or another. One team looking to cement a double chance, and another looking to get any chance at all. Ready for the siren now. Players eagerly awaiting. Jordan Neal starting in the centre for Prince Alfred. That'll be the ruck matchup to look for. Ball coming down straight towards that cricket pitch as we discussed. Definitely showing a lot of confidence there to get down and dirty. Sometimes in the juniors they make mandates on how dirty you have to make your jumper before being able to pass through. I wonder if Prince Alfred do something similar to that. Oliver Clark wasn't quite able to trap the ball, but he finds a teammate out with Wicks. It goes forward for Prince Alfred. Good spoil there from the defence. That was Hamish Ralph with a nice fist. But it will come back in through Mitch Larson. Now he goes out to the side. Wicks again under pressure. Good clean pick up there by Craig Pitt, the playing coach. Jolly doesn't trap it. Broadview coming in with extra numbers. And they might just get out of trouble here, although they were made to really fight for that. Anyang goes forward. One-on-one, and that's a beautiful one-on-one effort there. Really managed to position himself out well on the lead, and credit to the kick from Chol Anyang as well. So this will be
Brody Pearce.
Looks to be Brody Pearce taking the set shot. What do you think of that play, Tim?
Really good play there. Anyang Chol in the centre hits his target. That's what they've got to do, hit targets by foot. Lovely shot by Brody Pearce here. Nice long kick. Not going to make the distance. Pack in the square. Big spoil. Ball comes down. Player tries to rush. Snapshot doesn't get through. The fumble. I reckon it hits the post, but they've taken it on the inside for the first score of the game to Broadview with a point, a rush behind, but some good signs. Quick kick in from PAC finds Andrew Bradley across the half-back line. Looking, what's he going to do? Goes short again, the crab-style kick again, drop mark. Player harassing, hands picks up. The Broadview players have... Oh yes, great snap there. Find out who that player is in a minute, but the drop chest mark by the Prince Alfred player across half-back, and the two Broadview players swooped on the ball, picked it up, snapped across his body from 40 metres out, and the first goal is on the board of Broadies, and that start is what we've been looking for as we try and find out who that player was. But a great start to Broadies to get the first goal of the game.
Well, he's making his way back to the centre, so he certainly wasn't a full-time forward. He'll actually be playing on ball from this next centre bounce. We've got a good look at him. I know exactly where he is. He just hasn't turned around. Oh, little sneak peek at the Guernsey. Still can't make it out. We'll try and get back to you with that one as soon as we can. In fact, they're going to try and keep track. O'Leary.
Thank you.
Thank you to one of the faithful spectators in the audience who managed to recognise that from a distance.
Captain.
Jay O'Leary with the captain's goal to open us up. Neil tapped it straight down to Jolly. Jolly nearly got trapped, just managed to get rid of it. Spills out towards the outer end of the centre square. He'll take another effort at a clearance here. Good front positioning from Samuel Rhodes. That's what you want from a defender. Beautiful timing and positioning. He gets out wide to what looks like Cooper O'Leary out there. He goes as the low darting drop punt. An effective one too. They're starting to build some momentum forward here. They take their time with the next option. Maybe a little bit too much. Some extra defensive numbers coming in. Hard to make out play down there. I know Chris Curran getting involved in the midst of it, but it looks like we'll have a ball up in the far end pocket.
A long way away from here, Indy, but we can see the players all gathered in there. It's a big huddle, big group. 10-15 metres around from Broadie's goal in the right hand pocket. Ball gets tapped forward. Hayden Jolly slides forwards with his knees, gets the handball out. Clearance from PAC onto the wing. Another group forms. There's a lot of players around that ball. It's going to be very hard to get it out, which means everyone's keen. Quick forward by Broadies. Good attack on the ball. PAC grab the ball. Hayden Jolly grabs the ball and gets tackled from sideways. And yes, he's hit. Holding the ball. Didn't know that player was coming the other way. Broadview plays on quickly. The left foot raking kick long to the goal square, but it's to the right hand side. And unfortunately, out of bounds on the full.
A bit of a wasted opportunity there, because Hayden Jolly's a hard bloke to tackle, and he did that superbly. So if they can tag him and negate his significance in this match, then it will go a long way to negating Prince Alfred's midfield dominance. They'll kick it out here. Easy option was Mackenzie Slee. They're going long with the kicks here. Just went through the hands of Jordan O'Neill, but they had extra support. Now the one-on-one. Oh, a little slip there was dangerous there from Tyson Brazel. Just slipped. It might come back for them though. Tackle enforced. No, we'll get a ball up on the far side. So as it is right now, 1-1 to the Broadview Tigers. Prince Alfred uncharacteristically haven't scored yet, although early years, as we know, Jordan Neal almost held out of that ruck contest. Got a second effort in. Trying to play it along here. They're actually keeping it alive through soccer type action. And it might come down forward. There's a whistle. It's going to go the other way, Broadview's way. So scoring opportunity there gone wayward. Regardless, Broadview to get it back, as it looks like Little just giving it back to a teammate. So they look down the corridor for a moment, and they find a good option here with Rhodes again. Chipping it along the side. Told to go, almost stepped off the mark prematurely there. On the far side, front position reigns supreme. Now the Tigers try to advance into the corridor. They've got some handball chain action going. It's about the dart, the forward entry. Anyang couldn't quite get to it. He had to come in flying too fast. Neil's back there. Prince Alfred with the defensive setup. Take a moment to catch a breath as Wildman takes a mark.
Mitch Larson takes the mark on the halfback flank as the ball's coming. He looks inward. He's looking sideways. He goes a dangerous kick into the centre of the ground to the ruckman. Big fella Jordan Neal gets his hands on it, cops one across the chops and gets the free kick for a high mark. Very dangerous kick there, but they're taking the game on. Handballs quickly to a player running past. Over to Jolly. Back to that player, Lockie McNamara. Kicks it straight into a Broadview player standing still. Ethan Smith gets the ball, runs forward and kicks it short and finds a player. Sitting 35, 40 metres out straight in front. Took a heavy knock as he took that mark, but a very good, courageous mark to stand under that ball and take the hit as he got it. He's limping as he gets up. Looks like it's Jake Hodby. Throws the ball on the ground as he's just starting to recover from that whack. Pulls up his socks. He's straight in front. Let's see who that is. Is it Cooper O'Leary or Jade Hogby? 3, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon that's Cooper O'Leary.
Yep. Lining up. Very important kick here. Sits it up beautifully. It's on target. It's about the distance. It goes straight through the middle, and here is the start we're looking for as we move on. Broadview 2 goals, 0-12 points to PAC. No score at this stage. 2 goals, 1, should I say. 13 points to no score at this stage. This is the start they needed, Indy. They have to get away to a good start. They're kicking with the wind. It's a 2-3 goal breeze. And for them to show the effort they have to give, they've got to get away to PAC, who like to work into the game when the game opens up and gets a bit slower down. But with energy at the moment, Broadie's doing everything right.
And 1 goal each now to the O'Leary brothers.
Oh.
Full credit to them. Jordan Neal. Suddenly Prince Alfred under a bit of unexpected pressure early in the game. Jolly can kickstart something. No, the smother on Craig Pitt's kick attempt. And good tackle pressure and force to back it up. So that's what we've been talking about a little bit in this game. Just not allowing for the easy traversal and the easy centre clearances that Prince Alfred always adores so much. Anyang in the ruck. It comes out. Pratico goes forward. High ball. No mark will be taken down in the pocket. Doesn't look like, yeah, out of bounds, so it's just spilled over there. It's interesting to see what can be salvaged from this far pocket. It looks like a lot of the game will be spent down there, to the dismay of both of the commentators' eye vision, because, wow, this is a testament. Would have brought in the binoculars if I knew it'd be this far out. Opposite end of the oval from us. Favourable position for the Tigers, though. Oh, big body clash. Good physicality there, and that could really set the standard for this game in the early segments.
Yeah, good attack on the ball there. All players here right now showing their worth. There's a lot of players around the ball. Ball hits the ground as they throw it up. No one takes it cleanly. Still a bit of a fumble and a mess, the slippery conditions. And held up again for another throw. Let's have a look at the setup here if there's anything behind the ball. It's very much man on man. Prince Alfred got a couple of players, one player at the back of the pack. Other than that, it's all around the play. Stacks on the mill. Jolly goes to ground, quick hands, gives it, tackle, umpire lets it go. Quick kick by PAC forward. Bump off the ground, lovely little take. Touch off there, good pick up. Very good pick up there by Jaden Ryan. Handball off, gives them a loose kick down the wing. Taken on the wing there by Jacob Rolotta. Looks, player, umpire creeps over though, didn't answer back to the umpire with regards to come back off the mark, gets his 25. Rolotta now looks as players are streaming back into one half of the field at this stage. Rolotta's a long way out. Tell me he's not shaping up to kick this. He's outside the 50, he's got to be 60 metres out.
Wind not really favouring his direction either. He'll have to kick it towards the left post.
Oh, it's a lovely kick, but goodness me. Oh, he has made the distance from outside the 50 to the right-hand side through for a point. That was a very deliberate ploy there. Obviously going to watch that kick from Rolotta with regards to how far he can kick the ball. If he was on this side, then he'll even go further, because as you said, the wind wasn't favouring him and it did push it to the right.
If he was just a bit more incited into that wind, then he could have actually balanced it out, because he had the distance. Simply not the accuracy. Mark now to Oscar Clark. Contemplating the options. Didn't want to step off too early. Favours the far side wing. Front position from Prince Alfred, but no mark. Coughed up through the hand pass. Prince Alfred will keep possession. Campbell Wildman didn't take the mark either, so had to balance out with his teammates, but he might lose it in transition. Only temporarily, as the tackling pressure down in the forward 50. Pretty good from Prince Alfred. But Broadview with numbers of their own, and it still remains in scoring territory for the Tigers. A risky position to be in, as I reckon the wind's just picked up a little bit now. It's definitely blowing crosswind towards the further side, maybe a tad bit to the left of screen, but nothing strong enough there. A whistle for advantage paid, and the goal to go along with it. What a start from the Broadview Tigers. Oh, hold on. Hold a breath.
No, he hasn't paid advantage.
No advantage paid, so instead the set shot will be taken. It will be a free kick to the Broadview Tigers, but no advantage will be paid. And can Ethan Smith, the one looking at having a sniff at goal?
So I think the umpire was running in once he paid the free kick, and only when he saw it go through for a goal was when everyone started yelling advantage, and he said, no, hang on a sec guys, I actually called the free kick, I want to pull it back. And that's a really big turning point in the game there, because a third goal would be good. So
yeah, but also there isn't always a strict time window on when umpires can call advantage, and sometimes they do wait for the result of the actual kick itself before making that call, so there's no reason why that advantage needed to be paid. It could have been a guaranteed Broadview goal there, although technically this is supposed to be an easier shot for Ethan Smith if he get it done, which he does. Delay of the inevitable. Broadview off to a really nice start here at Park 9. 3 goals, 2 on the board, 20-0.
Up and about there, Ethan Smith kicked the goal, ran into the face of the player standing the mark and gave him a bit of lip. So the Broadview boys have started well with their up and about, and just be careful what you do, young fella, because you don't want to stir the pot with someone to get them off the ground to fight back. Anyhow, we've said it, this is very important for them to get away to a good start. They've done it. It all starts in the middle at the moment. Broadie's on top in the centre. The ruck go again, and Neil both fall to the ground after go running under the ball. Kick forward, drop mark by Princess on the hard back line. Handball out wide. Campbell Wyman, very good half volley, picks it up, looks, lowers the eyes, finds the ruckman, Jordan Neal, holds his hands up. It's here, he only looks sideways, goes short again, finds Craig Pitt, the coach. Now, this is where they crab the ball. Goes short, down the line, Josh Perks. Josh Perks looking only down the line, kicks long, straight to a pack. Spoil out wide, Wildman kicks, goes to the open goal square, there's no one home, what's the bounce going to do? It has taken an off spin break and it's gone straight through. There's the luck of the draw. Campbell Wildman picks the ball up, slams it onto his right boot, it has an inside out taut position, the bounce of the ball always looked favourable, and it did. One bounce straight through, PAC, much needed goal to get on the board.
Well, fortune favours the brave sometimes, and in the case of Campbell Wildman, it's hard to argue whether it was a brave or stupid attempt. I guess the result of it is what matters, and it'll be remembered as a brave attempt regardless of what the actual...
The beauty of that was Campbell Wildman got the ball off the half-back flank and then followed it up and kicked that goal.
So a much better, more progressive play there from Prince Alfred. They had a fair amount of build-up towards that one. They get the centre clearance win. An important step of an important recipe. Oh, Chatrango took the mark, but it'll be given back instead. Samuel Rhodes from the push in the back infringement. They decide to just get a little bit of cross-play going here. Play some chip kick style. Jaden Ryan, vice-captain. He also chips it off. Playing it safe right now, Broadview. They don't want to give up this lead that they've worked really hard to establish early on, but they're not in favourable position on the field, that's for sure. The slow build-up continues. Chipping it around. Ralph. Assessing the options. They don't want to rush the long kick here, but they might have found a good one. Jaden Ryan again. Got good back position on goal side. Just trying to draw it closer. Goes on the broadcasting side wing. And, front position, and the leap was timed well, but not so much the hands and the quality of the finger work. Nearly held without it. No free kick given to Little. It spoils over the boundary line, and they might have just gotten away with one there, but it's back to neutral possession.
Tapped out of bound by Campbell Wildman. They want the dead ball positions. They set up the rucks. Neil takes front position. Chol gets the left hand to it, knocks it back. Little tap on. Really well played. Jay O'Leary fumbles it forward onto the wing. Great pick up there. Back. Jolly kicks it. Spoil, no man in front. Good hand on the ball. Gets the ball. Josh Garrels, well tackled there. Not going anywhere. Nick Little brings him to the ground. Umpire, still a lot of players around the ball. Chol taps it behind his head. Great pick up there by Lachlan McNamara to the hands. Fumbles on the ground. Back, goes backwards, looks forward, one kick, 1 on 2 here. The ruckman leads, goes one-handed. Rover hits the ground. Beautiful roving there by Jaden Davis. There was 3 on 2 there. But Princes with a beautiful tap down and dribbled the ball along with the left foot through for a goal, and 2 much needed answering goals from Princes here late in the first quarter. As the scoreboard reads 3 goals to Broadview, 2 goals Prince Alfred.
12 points to 20 early on. The home team's still trailing, but these last 5 minutes have been all the more Prince Alfred that you'd come to expect from watching them through most of 2023. It's just about producing that type of play for the remainder of the quarter to edge the margin out, and then they can reassess the pace of the game at the quarter time break. We haven't got a time tracker on us, but we might be able to get that at some point. In the meantime, though, the clearance, Pratico goes out wide. Keeps them all running. Chris Curran's back there. He had to fight for it, and he'll be trapped with the ball in hand. Umpire to ball it up just within the forward 50 arc on the far side. Cars bustling through Adelaide City right now. These parklands very well nurtured and taken care of. As the player slung to the turf, given the opportunity to dispose of it, it edges forward for the Tigers a little further, but Prince Alfred have the setup. under a lot of pressure was Schultz to get rid of it. Long kick down the line, works for the Prince Alfred team. Now they just need to go a little further. They've got 2 uncontested men. Which one to pick? It doesn't matter. That looks like Traingrove trying to set it up now. Brazel, he was chopped out, but he had a second attempt at it, and 3 goals in a row to respond for Prince Alfred. They've closed the margin back to just 2 points.
Yeah, they worked that very well then with some good pressure, good bodies, a really strong mark there. I'm thinking it was Lucas Schultz. Let me think, who was it? No, it wasn't. It was, I'll find his number again in a minute. Centre half forward, really good lead up. There it is, Josh Perks. A lead up, really good strong mark. He's been very good. And to kick it in quickly, and all the full forward wants is a one-on-one contest. Jaden Ryan did well, get in front, ball slipped over the back. He picks it up, snaps around his body for a whirl. Well, we're back on even terms, 3-2 to 3 goals. Here we are back in the centre. Chol goes up. Gets the tap down forward again. Oh, good pick up by hands. Ball is absolutely slobbered with mud at the moment. It's going to be hard to pick up and have clean possession. As gets held onto there, the Broadies player. Umpire, look, they play onto advantage straight away. He wanted to call it back. They looked and he said, no, we'll kick it straight away. Over to Luke McCauley. Centre half back takes the relieving mark to Jolly. Goes short, 1 step out wide to the furthest point away from us in front of that telegraph pole. As Princes look, and yes, they centre it into the middle of the field. Chris Curran takes the mark. What's the next action here? Look sideways again, or do we go down the line? They've been crabbing it from here. He's gone sideways to try and open up the play. It's very crowded. They love the open play. First kick goes wide, next kick goes down the middle. Handball switches on, misses the player. That's the swoop. Over to Oscar Clark. Short, Mackenzie Slee. Short, Campbell, no. Short, finds Jaden Davis, left foot into the centre on the lead. Broadies players get back and cause a break. Nick Little jumps in, puts his head over the ball, bends down, held. Umpire says, give it to me. Really good play there by Princes.
Wind picking up again, getting a bit chillier here, and the margin itself getting smaller and smaller, potentially to blow out the other way if Broadview can't find a way to stop this recent shift of momentum. Jolly, clever flick on, but Larson will have no chance of getting out with an escape of that ball. Umpire to ball it up right set on the arc directly in front of goal, so not a great place to be. Tim spotting something. No, shaking his head. He's indecisive. Is he seeing things? Something's going on with Tim Pillion.
Just trying to see who the second ruck is.
They've done that pretty well through most of the game and most of the year for that matter, balancing the rucks. Traingrove falls over, but to compensate, Joshua Garrels was there. He didn't quite get the finish, just a minor score. A 20-point margin has turned into just a 1-point margin for Broadview, and all of the hard work from earlier in the quarter has almost been undone. Can they stem it back?
Jaden Ryan got the kick in. Very good by Boot. Goes short. Gets the handball back. Goes sideways. Handball. Finds Jacob Rilotta. Kicks wide, unfortunately straight into the waiting hands. Now this is where PAOC grab the ball. They don't just kick long down the line as they try and sneak it forward with possession. Finds Mitch Larson. Gets tackled. Swings. Oliver Clark handballs backwards. Kicks sideways, man out wide, Harvey Jolly. Hayden Jolly turns, finds a player, kicks, top of the goal square. Good spoil, at the back again, unfortunately. Jaden Davis just waiting down, and they have kicked 3 of their 4 goals from roved packs from no marks in the goal square. So it's good that Broadies are jumping, it's good that they're spoiling, but no one is staying down and watching their man. And they have now crabbed back and caught the lead. Prince Alfred, 4 goals 1 to 3 goals 2, as we have a blood rule here for a Broadview player. Let's have a look. Who's that? It is 13, Kane Flanagan. It is. On comes Nick Little for the meantime. And, well, a quarter of two halves at this stage.
A quarter of 2 halves it has been. And, well, I don't think any key forward in the competition is going to catch up to Jaden Davis at this point. He is well and truly the best in the comp right now. Good luck trying to chase him, or even chase his studs for that matter, because you won't catch him. Goes forward temporarily for Broadview, but the setup once again for Prince Alfred. McCauley Handed it off to a teammate. They've got a vacant man in Garrels. He couldn't quite complete the mark on the run, so it's just spilt over the boundary line in front of the Prince Alfred Marquees as we're getting to the closing stages of this quarter now. You feel like not too much time left. Ball thrown in. Anyang. Ball went past him, but then he had an effort at the clearance. Off of the left. I think he can kick on both boots. Macaulay is always well positioned. Shangrove. They've got the spread here. They just need to look for a lead up forward. That they haven't got. So Broadview, can they tighten up just for a little bit? They've already lost the lead. They don't want to do any further damage. No salt to the wound. Oh, what an intercept there in the middle. There he is again, Macaulay. He's had a lot of possessions in this recent minute. Now going forward, front position. No mark for Mackenzie. Broadview, a whistle will be going their way. They'll just take a moment to catch a breath, chip it off to Jaden Ryan as he slows up. They just haven't been able to penetrate it from there, and now it's a dangerous turnover instead. Wildman selflessly hands it off, maybe too selfless there. The kick was far too slow for the teammate to get on the end of, and now Broadview had to take another deep breath, realising that they escaped what could have been a huge turnover there.
Sam Danielle cleans up the loose ball in the back line. It's in the hands of Hamish Ralph, deep in the defence of Broadies as they're just trying to do some damage control. Kicks long and down the wing, and only PAC players behind the ball there. Mark taken, here we go. This is where PAC do not kick long down the line. They're looking sideways, but sure enough, he kicks long down the line. Forward, interference. Blocking is the call by the ruckman. Back into Hamish Ralph. Turns sideways. Finds Jaden Ryan. Settling it down as we're late into the first quarter here. They need to take a bit of heat out of the game. Ryan kicks long, low to the lead. Player just gets under the ball. Umpire sees a little nudge there and pays it. I thought that was a bit soft, but never mind. Love the way PAC are working back behind the ball straight away. It's all right. Short, inwards. Slowing the game down now, Broadies. Oh, plays on, looks round. Okay, that's what we want, taking the game on. Kicks long, gets over the packs of all the people, but there's 4 people there behind the ball and a strong mark taken. First eyes are sideways to Campbell Wildman out wide. Finds his man. They're still running. He's going to switch and go inwards. No, handball down. Finds Josh Perks, handball back. Lowers the eyes, the ruckman gets up. Well done.
Lachlan McKenzie. A late shot at goal perhaps. Too far out. Although he does have the wind on side. Told to go. Torps it. Won't make the journey. Front position where there was all Prince Alfred. Chris Curran will surely be paid the mark or at least some sort of infringement penalty. He will. Slows it up for a bit. Momentarily Prince Alfred look to the far side. See something they might like. Andrew Bradley. Next in a line of chain, Mackenzie Slee. And the siren goes for the opening quarter. It was an exciting start from Broadview, but all of that was undone as Prince Alfred kicked into sharp gear and now lead by 5 points. 4 goals 1 to 3 goals 2. You've been watching the Make Sure Ratify live stream with Tim Pillion and Indiana Rogers. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back the second quarter. Stand by. Welcome back to Park 9 in the Parklands, where Prince Alfred, after a slow start in that term, managed to overcome the Broadview Tigers and lead, albeit only by 5 points, after a consecutive 4-goal streak late in that quarter. And 2 of those goals from Jaden Davis, who really kicked into gear. I really liked the game that Campbell Wildman put together as well. An early contender for the Dartfish Beanie and Archie Thongs. Tyson Bradsell with a goal for himself as well. And Chris Curran, he pops up everywhere. What more can you say about him at this point? Who were some of the better players for Broadview, you felt like, Tim?
Yeah, okay, so Broadview did really well down back. Jaden Ryan had a lot of the ball. Hamish Ralph had a lot of the ball, playing in the second ruck position, but also playing getting behind the ball. Dominic Predico in the centre, and Sam Daniel and O'Leary. And I thought Chol was pretty good in the ruck as well, and Yang. So, look, we said that Broadview had to start well to stay in this game, and they are in this game. But now with Princes kicking with whatever breeze there is to what we call the scoring end, it's going to be really interesting if they can hang on and be close at half-time, Indy.
Yeah, well, it is a game of 4 quarters. It's not a game of one term, but at the same time, they would really hope that that momentum slip from the second half is not going to off-settle the Broadview Tigers for the rest of the match. They did a lot right in those first opening 10 minutes, I reckon. Ticked a lot of boxes, just couldn't quite consolidate the deal. But a second term is to begin, and with that, many new opportunities to change the course of the way this game could play out, to put the foot down and make a 180 on the way the game is traversing. You're with Indiana Rogers and Tim Pillion on the Make Sure Ratify live stream.
Okay, siren goes, about to start the second quarter. The ruckman. Oh, big tap there by Jordan Neal with his left hand, knocks it out wide, but straight into the hands of the Broadview team. Looks to kick, pulls it back in, looks to kick again. Wildman handball out wide to the running Andrew Bragg, takes a bounce, kicks the ball in. Big pack form, spoil there by Jaden Ryan, but picked up by Alta Legions and kicks the ball back in. Princess there. Spoil out of bounds on the point post. Forward pocket. Interesting. Alright, so the game's spread out. This is where we've got to look at the 2 styles of play. Let's see what they do here. Princes. Deep in the pocket. They set up the wall behind the play. That ball going nowhere. The umpire says, give it to me again. It's man on man all over the field at this stage. No one loose, no one playing anywhere behind the ball. They've gone defensive. Quick kick out from the pack by Broadview. Kicks high, players jump. Ball hits the ground. Jolly with a beautiful big right foot snaps it around his body, and it goes through for a minor score. So, and they're playing on quickly straight away. Sorry there, I'll take that. Jaden Ryan kicks very quickly out wide, finds a player. It is Nick Little who takes the mark on the half-back flank. Looks, waiting for the players to come across. Still holding, now turns sideways, kicks the ball back. Jaden. Or is that Hamish Ralph?
One of the 2?
Yeah, it's a long way away, Indy. Look straight down the middle. This is a dangerous kick. Got to find his man. It's spoiled. Got his hands on it, but it's spoiled. The players all read that beautifully. Handball out the back. Well done, Sam Daniel. Kicks the ball long and high. Under the ball is Jackson Wilson. Spoiled out wide. The Rucks go for the ball. Oh, well done. Got in underneath that. Did really well there by Kane Flanagan. Got in under the ball. Got his hands on it. Ruckman went over the top of him. And it's the ball's out of bounds on the wing.
So looking towards centering up this next throw in. Annie Yang in a very big tug of war there with Jordan Neal. You couldn't really pay a free kick one way or the other because they were both holding on. The Tigers to advance. Kick doesn't go to plan. Curran. Advantage will be paid from the chop of the arms. Wildman goes out wide. He had a vacant man. How empty is the forward line? There are still options down there. I reckon that's Mitch Wicks, who's been deep down, waiting to be on the receiving end of that ball. Oh. He'll take a low percentage shot.
No. Umpire's giving it the other way.
No, it's going to be a free kick the other way. Stand corrected. Wildman, well, he'll just bring it right back in for Prince Alfred. He's been one of the best in the match at the moment. Good thing that mark was paid too. I was worried it wouldn't be. Oh, through the hands, butterfingers of Mitch Larson. Really should have hung on to that. Bit of a missed opportunity there because after one free kick came unexpected, Wildman gave them another setup chance, but just let that one slip through his hands, Mitch Larson. So still on the far end of the ground, opposite end from the commentating box, far side pocket. Favouring Prince Alfred. The juggle there, is that going to be called in the back? No! It will be called an effective and legal mark given to Oliver Clark. He can have his first shot and potentially, well, what most likely looks to be his first goal of the game. Carry forth the momentum from that big purple patch in the first term. They were not distracted by their quarter-time break. Only rejuvenated. 5 goals in a row for Prince Alfred.
The game being played in the forward half of Prince's at the moment, towards the second half of that first quarter and this quarter, because they're kicking with the breeze. So Broadie's getting their hands on the ball, but when they do, they're moving it up to about centre wing, but they can't get it past half forward. And that's where Prince's are rebounding the ball very strongly. So that's going to be the challenge. That is the challenge on the stats that shows that Broadie's aren't a high-scoring side. That half forward and half back line is going to be the game where it's won or lost today at this stage. Really interested with this ruck tussle. They're going, Trol Enyong and Jordan Neal are jumping really well at each other, and it's going one head for head each turn each. Umpire throws the ball up. Neal gets this one, rakes the knee straight into him, taps the ball backwards. Umpire sees a free kick straight away, some sort of shepherding. Throws it, I think it's Sam Danielle, gets the ball. Kicks short, kicks long, kicks low to a great lead, but there we go, the fullback. Chris Curran leads forward, takes the ball in his hands. Good relieving mark. Now, what's he going to do? He's going to kick sideways. Looks straight out wide, so kicking with the wind, but goes straight out to the wing. Strong hands there. Andrew Bradley goes wide, player loose, not good manning up there. Looks inward, low, hard, spearing kick. Finds a player, turns, snaps, and I reckon that is Oliver Clark again. If he turns around, I reckon it is. Oliver Clark kicked 2 in 2 minutes, Indy. And this is danger signs everywhere right now for Broadie, with that beautiful kick out of the centre to a leading forward, intercepted and just straight down the other way and scored.
Warning signs now and almost nearing red light for Broadview after such a good start. You can't afford to concede 6 consecutive goals in a winning match of football, so this will really hurt what they've tried to create. Rain coming back in, and wind has really picked up now, and it's actually blowing more like a crosswind because I felt it coming from both directions of the commentary box, so this will be interesting. Next centre clearance pivotal, Anyang. Looks a little fragile there in the matchup. I reckon Jordan Neal is starting to rope him in a bit better. Jolly takes his man to turf and doesn't let him escape. So umpire will take the ball back. Wind continues to come through. Traffic bustling in the background. In front of us, Broadview, misfired by hand. They had some additional support. They won't get the intended forward 50 entry. Instead, the setup. Macaulay rushes it out. It's a rushed kick. As a result, it leads to a rushed turnover. But if their defensive setup can lock in here, can Broadview find a way to penetrate this? Not when you let Chris Curran off the leash like that. He's been dominating this particular quarter, taking a lot of intercept marks. He's a stalwart in the defense. Trying to get a switch on here. Kicking to the favour of Mackenzie Slee. He stepped off, so he had to hand pass to a teammate. Put himself under needless pressure, but still their system allows them to get out of it. Craig Pitt, early whistle. It'll be paid, well, technically down the field, but mostly from the spot of where it was going to go anyway. Jordan Neal passes it off. Bradley with the 1-2. Bradley will go himself. He'll set it up for the forwards. It's 1-on-1 down there. Is that Jaden Davis or Brazel? Looks like Brazel. He'll have to get back up to his feet. He laid a good tackle as the second effort. Ball still remains alive. Umpire was willing to be patient with the pistol. Eventually puts it away.
Okay, we are 20 metres out in front of the goals. Prince Albert, dead ball situation. A lot of players around the ball. Down, trying to handle it out. All of Broadies are down there trying to bottle this up. If they get a clear kick, they've got nowhere to go. That's the next thing. They're going to have to go sideways and not forwards. They're just going to kick to a wall. Handball goes backwards anyhow. Oh, Jolly just runs straight through. Little fella then laid his shoulder into that. I'm pretty sure the umpire's given that a good call by not letting him go too high. And look at the amount of players around that ball. Chol gets front position, umpire grabs him around. Oh, he's given it the other way around. He said, whacked him high. And he's trying to put his arms out. Jordan Neal looks sideways, goes out wide to the lead, doesn't find the target. However, it's kept in. Shakes the tackle, handballs back inside, finds Josh Garrels. Josh Garrels kicks, goes across goal. Straight across goal, and it goes out of bounds, which will be the last touch rule, which we haven't seen many of them today, Indy. But the ball's in the back pocket. And again, we have Jaden Ryan to bring the ball back in for Broadview.
And I reckon the lack of last touch calls just shows how much the teams like to use the corridors in particular. They're not going with those wide forward 50 entries. They're actually trying to go straight down the spine. Danger ball here. Broadview had to clean up the mess. A rushed attempt out. It almost looked like it could have been last touch the other way. It's been spoiled over the line. Great effort by Josh Perks. Wow, this game is really starting to completely turn around the other way, and I'm hoping that those first 10 minutes for Broadview won't go down as a fluke. I'm hoping they can find a way to get back into it, but right now Prince Alfred getting all over them.
They're finding it hard to break the lines and break the setup behind the ball. They've gone from one side to the other side, back to the other side without going forward in any direction. Boundary throwing in the forward pocket.
Yeah, the territory battle favouring Prince Alfred early. Tapped through. Traingrove's down there. He might have to lock it in. Craig Pitt looms around the pack as well. Broadview with extra tacklers. In fact, maybe a couple too many. Craig Pitt finds a way to get it out to Jolly. Jolly brushed off a couple men. Kicked by Oscar Clark. It goes out wide. It's marked by Cameron Pritchard, who we haven't called too much today. This could be a nice moment for him to really slot himself onto the potential scoreboard.
He's
in
inside
fact,
the square,
he is inside the square. Wind not so much favouring him, but there could be some sort of carry there. He has made that journey. Almost. Not quite. Right towards the line. Instead it will be called a ball up pretty much directly in front. This will lightly be rushed over for a behind unless something supernatural happens.
An amazing kick inside the square and makes it within 5 metres of the net. Okay, they haven't managed to get it across, believe it or not, and a foot has hit the ground and a Prince Alfred player has got there. Now, we're not going to see who that was. That's going to be one for half-time when we find out. But as you called it, Indy, that could only have done one thing, is to punch it over and get it through for a behind. But it didn't. It fell to the ground. And a Prince's player stuck his foot out and obviously kicked it through. So the game's getting away with us now. The scoreboard reads Prince Alfred 7 goals 2. Broadview have not added to their quarter time score of 3 goals 2. It's a 24-point margin. And the game is purely being played in their front half.
There's a small chance it might have been Tyson Brazel. Not 100% sure. Don't quote me on it. We'll have to come back to the centre now. No time to think about what's behind, only to think about what's forward for Broadview. They have to get this flow back. Game high, 24-point margin. The game slipping away from the Tigers. Can they find a way to get back into it? High tackle, that's not going to help. You need to be nice and precise with your tackling efforts at this stage of the game. Craig Pitt almost bit off more than he could chew, but he's got the support of his teammates. He gets it from Jolly, back to Craig Pitt. Going forward, front position for Brazel. No mark. Broadview with defenders circling. Struggling to find a clean way out. Didn't bounce up for Trangrove the way he wanted it to. Pressure on Clark. Broadview might be able to get out of trouble with enough handball transition. They continue to chain link it, but that is an awful kick. Tell you what, it still manages to work for what looks like.
Jaden Ryan.
Jaden
Goes
Ryan.
on quickly into the centre of the field, lower the eyes. Kicked it too high, the fullback's going to come across there. Mackenzie Slee grabs the ball, shrugs one tackle, shrugs a second tackle, kicks the ball, ugly screw punt, tumble forward in the ground, but great rebound. That kick coming out of the centre had to be lower and hit the target, just sat it up perfectly. The ball is still alive and it rolls forward, but it's been scrambled out of the pack and gone through for a point. So there it is again, they cannot get past half forward, Broadies. That half back line is a rock at the moment, Prince Alfred, and they're playing with great confidence and playing on. Score, Prince Alfred 7-3. Now the kick in, important. All the players are in the front half of the field here. This is the wall that we're talking about. They need to open it up as much as they can, Broady. Kick sideways into the pocket. Handball over the top with the run. Player caught, slams it onto the boot, but straight away a turnover. Ball tap it down, Mitch Wicks cuts that off, and we get the set up again on the other side.
So an opportunity to come back in, slipping away. Jordan Neal, I don't even really know if that throw went far enough for either of them to get a favourable hit out, wasn't recalled. Anyang with tackling pressure on the ground, and I reckon he's struggled a little bit today, Chol Anyang. We know what type of damage he can do when he's at his best, but hasn't really been able to get that out of himself, and Jordan Neal has really negated the type of advantage that they normally get from him. This is going to be a holding the ball call, unexpectedly. Kick to be taken in. Oh, wasn't positioned perfectly. Broadview trying to get extra numbers around the ball just to circle around and force these ball-ups, but it's not going to help them get it out of the defensive 50. They were playing so well from negating those centre clearance advantages early, and they've just lost that at this stage of the game. Another stoppage ensues. Anyang trying to get out of trouble. Broadview players gesturing for holding the ball. They will not get it.
No, it's gone from pack to pack at this stage. We are 20 metres out, straight in front of Prince Alfred goal. Ball punched forward for Broadview. Good pick up by Sam Daniel there. Good, well done, short kick, finds Flanagan. He took the mark, but unfortunately played on straight away and ran straight into a Prince's player. Smother. Again, the pressure is very good. Lowers the eyes, finds a player. I reckon that is Hamish Ralph. He plays on. He looks, lowers the eyes, finds a player. Oh. Darcy Modra gets the ball on the wing. Okay, now this is next kick is important. He looks down the line, he's got a wall. Goes short, goes sideways. Tyler McKenzie goes sideways. We've opened the play up, doesn't find his man, he's got to keep it in. He does. He looks, lowers the eyes, but unfortunately Campbell Wildman cuts it off. Read that too easily, takes a bounce, runs past the player, handballs to a player in the goal square. Tyson Brazel says thank you very much at that goal. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, Indy, but that's the issue. Broadview are struggling to find that next link. So they hit the wing then, rather than come forward to half forward where that wall is. They went sideways and they turned it over to a goal. Prince is running away with this game.
Well, early in the match, they tried to put some extra effort into Jolly to make sure that they could negate the type of fend-offs that he normally puts through, but they've really done nothing to negate Chris Curran or Campbell Wildman's ability to intercept and peel off their men. So forward-wise, they're probably setting up too far ahead of the ball and just allowing for their defensive opponents to peel off far too easily. And Wildman could have blazed away and gone for a second goal himself. Instead, played it selfless, gave it back to Tyson Brazel for his second goal, potentially third, as we discussed early in the quarter. Anyang and Jordan Neal to go at it again. Something's going to have to change about that matchup for Broadview to come out supreme. They're certainly not the supreme team at the moment. They are down by 31 game high margin.
You've called some good names there for Princes who have got the ball, but the one that Trengove, so what they've done here, number 5, Jackson Wilson's been running with Trengove all day and watching him. So they've put all their energies into a great on-baller and the others have got off the leash. Kicks out wide, Nick Little beautifully weighted, finds Flanagan. He's looking, here we go, kicks short, good running, holds up. And I reckon that is Jay O'Leary, the captain. He looks, lowers the eyes, kicks it into the centre on the lead and finds a great lead there. Really well done. The umpire says come back, son, you've gone too far. Finds Hamish Ralph. Now Hamish Ralph has got himself a kick. The wind has dropped a little bit, but it'll take a good kick here. He is 35, 40 metres out. Really much needed goal here for Broadview is an understatement comment there. Walks in, a little bit of a skip, drops it on the boot. He's going to make the distance, and that's a beautiful kick. It splits the middle. Really well done, and that's what they need to do. They lowered their eyes, they hit leading targets, and they hit the targets each time. Ends up in a goal to Hamish Ralph. Really well played, and a much needed goal to Broadview there. Score 8-3. Prince Alfred 4-2 Broadview.
You're tuning into the Make Sure Ratify live stream, of course, with Tim Pillion and Indiana Rogers, and that goal just ended an 8 consecutive goal streak from Prince Alfred. So big play there, and it does show that you can get off to a hot start, but that does not put an opposition out of it. Broadview still in it? That's the question that remains to be seen. Can they back that up, or will they fall victim to yet another one of Prince Alfred's shenanigans?
So here's their opportunity, because the ruckman Jordan Neal's gone off and they've put their second ruck in. So Chol needs to dominate these ruck set clearances, but he doesn't. He hits it straight away by Lucas Schultz, gets his hand to it.
Anyang, Wildman now playing a little bit on the ball, gets it back from the 1-2, was clever, runs to the outside, no one manning up on him. And it created the extra vacancy. Well, that's the type of transition they just could not afford. Broadview let it out a little too easily there. So this looks like either Clark or Wicks, one of the two.
Campbell Wildman taking that ball on the wing with a bounce, hitting the target again.
It'll be another score involvement for Wildman, that's for sure. So the opportunity here, I believe this is Oliver Clark, which if it is, this would be opportunity for goal number 3. Instant reply looms. An instant reply it is. Might actually be Mitch Larson, I reckon.
That's who I think it is as well. But like you say, there's the quick response. So Broady worked really hard to get that goal side by side. They get the automatic instant clearance from the second ruckman. Did really well there. And Lucas Schultz, ball goes out wide. They go bang, bang, hit a target, and he finishes off really well. So here's the chance. Come on, Chol. We need you here. Get your hand up for Broadview. We're all behind the ball here too. All behind the ball. He jumps. No. Again, Schultz gets his hand down to it. But here's the clearance. Looks. Broadview. Beautiful kick out wide. Nice bump on the inside. Picks up the ball. Doesn't get it in the air. Anthony Carlisle did well. Cleared. Clearance again. Hands. Carlisle on the left this time. Looks with a beautiful kick around the corner. I reckon he's found Jay O'Leary, the captain he has. Well done there by big Anthony Carlisle. Good competing, stayed on the ball, kept his head over it. Gives it to O'Leary straight out in front, 30 metres out. These conditions are good enough for him to kick this. There's the kiss of death. Gets very close to the man on the mark. But manages to chip it over and goes straight through. Really good goal there with Jay O'Leary. That's his second goal for Broadview. And showing some good fight there, but that came from the centre clearance as they brought the ball into their forward line and let them do the job. 9-3, 5-2.
Another group showing some good fight at the Oval. Probably the Broadview Tigers fans, they still sound very passionate and very involved with this game despite the 8 consecutive goals in a row. So credit to Jay O'Leary, his second goal, the first multi-goal kicker for the Broadview Tigers of this match. But can they now get a consecutive run on? This is where things fell apart only a few minutes ago. Back into the centre we go. It's still Anyang and Jordan Neal. I've barely seen an interchange made there. They would have played out pretty much every minute of this quarter, I reckon. Anyang to soccer it off the deck. Can the pick-up be clean from Broadview? It goes forward, deep down. Curran in a bit of trouble, but still he manages the clean hand pass. Jolly on his own. Another sentence that we'd be saying lightly, and not one that you'd want to say, because giving Jolly any space is bad enough. He's dangerous enough when you don't. Out on the far side, Broadview trying to penalise a turnover here. Big tackle, not penalised, but play will go forward. It's in the possession of Prince Alfred. Joshua Garrels goes deep forward. There's an extra number back there for Broadview. It doesn't matter, it's actually rolled over for a minus score. One of the few times in this match where Prince Alfred didn't keep the eyes peeled.
Jaden Ryan plays on quickly, goes short and out wide. Ball stuck in the back pocket. Here we go. This is where we've got to hit targets. The long kick down the line not working for him. Kicks it out wide. Bounces just in front of the pack and goes out of bounds. Umpire calling for the throw-in. Here we go. Conditions very calm here. Wind has dropped. There's no rain. There's no sun. It's cloudy. Perfect conditions for playing footy on a day like today. Boundary throw-in. Chol and Neal knocks it down, hands at the back to Pitt. Long kick from Pitt. High, long, straight, aiming at the post. Broadview player watching the ball run straight into the post. That's why we have padding and a point. Another good kick. Peppering it away. 9 goals, 5 goals, 2. Really important last part of this quarter here. Indy, Broadview need to hang on and not let them get away. Keep it within 4 goals. Jaden Ryan kicking in again, goes short, doesn't find the target, runs over the top of the ball. Campbell Wildman picks up the ball, centres it, beautiful kick, and finds Mitch Larson. And that's unfortunately what happens when the kick out of full-back doesn't hit the target. The turnover, it comes back the other way.
Someone coming off Prince Alfred now.
Mitch Larson got the kick. Yeah, Campbell Wildman.
Well, he's done enough definitely to warrant a beanie so far, so maybe he's just taken a break to make the competition for that award a little more competitive. He knows what's up for stake here in the box, but at stake here in front of goal, task was simple.
Mitch Larson pops through his second goal. Really good play. That's a turnover. Didn't need that late in the last quarter there, but that's unlucky. That just happens sometimes. But good clean. They're very good by foot, Prince Alfred. You can see why they're sitting top of the table. By foot, by leading, whether it's a diagonal straight at them, short or even long, they just put the ball out in front of their players and back him in to do the rest. All right, Chol has been rucking this entire game so far, this entire quarter. He's going to need a chop out at some stage. Jordan Neal, as we said, has jumped back into the ruck straight away and got that domination. Watch his left hand here.
Chol Anyang. You could see he always makes that awkward sidestep into the ruck contest. I wonder if that's a preferred routine or if it's hopefully not some sort of injury involved reason. Oh, nearly got a goal side there. Good setup from Prince Alfred. They escaped a bit of trouble in that instance, but it might come right back if it rolls out. Yes, they played to the advantage of the last touch rule there. There's actually a bit of tension within that ball rolling over the line. Interesting. Now Ethan Smith kicked a goal earlier, and that's a great darting pass off to a much more probable shot deeper down. Still on a bit of an angle, but I reckon that is Hamish Ralph, yes?
Hamish Ralph.
So he's going to have to swing his arc around. You'd think that the siren's not going to go and throw him off of that. In fact, he's not going to use that arc. He wants to go the drop punt. He's confident in his accuracy when really he probably should have walked around his arc. Unfortunately, that won't do them much help on the scoreboard as of right now.
Again, Indy, the lead up was good. It was a great play out here, short pass and a really good pass to Hamish Ralph, leading, doing a good job. Kick in from fullback. Jolly decides to take the kick in, just ambles out to the other side and smashes it out to the wing, so it's a clearing ball. Well played by the Broadview player, gets his hand up, dodges one, sells a dummy to a second, lowers the eyes. Or the umpire says, man in front. Okay. So we thought there was a man in front, took the mark. The umpire said no, it was off hands. Player wasn't happy. Then pays a sling, and if they keep mouthing off anywhere, they're going to get 25 metres here. So just get on with it, boys. So really crucial late in the quarter.
The mystery man.
Players got the ball, bent down 35 metres out straight in front. This is the one they need after that slight miss there from Hamish Ralph. Looks very deliberate walking in. Sits it up, the minute it come off his boot, puts it straight through.
Taking a look as he's just getting around some teammates.
They just never turn around, do they?
No, I think they shy away from the commentating box.
But a much needed goal there by Broadview.
They say we have enough.
6-3.
Ooh, 19. That is Dominic Pratico.
Dominic Pratico. He's had a lot of the ball, should have noticed him. We're back into the centre. Not long to go in this quarter.
All right. Coming crunch time. Another goal would be very useful here for Broadview. Jordan Neal just tapped it straight down to the Tigers.
Sam Danielle again out of the centre.
Oh, Pierce nearly held on to. Chris Curran once again. Stands supreme in his position in the defence. A bit of physicality there. A rushed forward entry. It might still work. Oh, splitting off maybe a bit too early. Gave Mackenzie Slee vacancy. He stepped off his mark and they were unaware. Wildman had such a good game so far. Craig Pitt looking on. Indecisive. And almost lacking confidence until he finds the shorter option that he was confident in. Oh, trying to go further. Long kick down the line from Slee. And it's been marked the other way from Broadview. They're already trying to spread out to get a late one here. It's a question of whether or not the coach just wants to preserve the current margin and not risk it blowing out any further. But at the same time, they will need to practice more risky antics if they want to get back into the match. So there's a bit to weigh up here. They're stuffed all the way back in that pocket, though. Man on the mark, pretty much right on the line, so he'd have to kick it from outside of play. Not going to gain much territory that way. Curran was waiting at the back, didn't take a mark, and I reckon a lot of the talk at halftime will have to revolve around negating the significance of Curran and Wildman.
They're doing well. All right, it's a dead ball situation. Umpire says give it to me, throws it up on the wing, half forward for PAC. Child takes it out of the ruck, tries to kick it quickly, drops down to the ground. Now that's interesting, it's come off the foot. What does the umpire call here? Doesn't matter, the siren has gone. We have half-time, Prince Alfred Old Collegians Football Club, 10 goals, 5, 65. And the visitors, Broadview Tigers, at 6 goals, 3, which is 39. Players just having a bit of a word to each other here as the siren goes. A couple of people are not happy there, but they've broken to their sides now. And we'll take a break as at half-time here at Park 9 as the players go in for a reset. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Park 9 in the Parklands, where a 26-point margin is what stands between the top of the ladder Prince Alfred team and the Broadview Tigers, hoping to get back into that 5th spot contention box, but at the moment they've just slipped a little bit behind that. I'll tell you what, it was a very impressive quarter and a half from Prince Alfred, I'd say. Only the last 5 minutes is when they truly slipped up, Prince Alfred, and of course those first 10 minutes of the game, but I've really liked the work of their intercept game. Their Campbell, Wildman and Chris Curran contributions have been fantastic. Craig Pitts had a good game as the playing coach as well, of course. Mitch Larson with 3 goals. 2 goals to Oliver Clark, Jaden Davis, Tyson Brazel, 1 goal to Lucas Schultz, which was the one we missed from that second quarter, right on the tip of the line. But who's been effective for Broadview, Tim?
Yeah, look, again, in defence, Jaden Ryan's been very good. Hamish Ralph's been very good both ends of the ground in the second ruck. Stan Daniel came into it in that quarter, in the second quarter. He got a few clearances, which is where all ended up in goals for Broadview, so he's going to be an important, effective player. And Jay O'Leary going well. I think at this stage, the ruck dominance of Jordan Neal is the difference in the centre, but we're about to see. Look, they're close enough, Indy. 4 goals is not the end of the game here. So they're close enough. Let's just see if they keep going for the second half.
4 goals and 2 points, that is. But yes, we're looking forward to bringing you the best coverage for the second half. You're joining Tim Pillion and Indiana Rogers for the Make Sure Ratify live stream. Adelaide Footy League action in round 12. Closing weeks of the home and away season set to ensue. A little bit of a torpedo-style clearance there. Front position was best position for Lachlan McKenzie. He looked to the corridor but decided to go out wide instead. Very wide, in fact. Good one-on-one effort there from Pritchard, who we haven't called too much of today, but he's been part of that Prince Alfred structure. Broadview keep possession on the far side. That's not a very good kick. It's actually been spoiled out by Traingrove. I reckon the ball was coming in so hot that if he didn't touch that, it probably would have gone back to Prince Alfred anyways.
A good call. It's out of bounds right on the other half-forward flank. Broadview supposedly kicking to the left-hand side of our screen, which is the way the wind is favouring, but the wind has dropped and the sun is shining. And the umpire has called a free kick there. He's called hanging on to the ruckman. Charles Agnon gets the ball. He looks, goes short, inboard, takes the mark. It's either Cooper O'Leary or Kane Flanagan. They said Kane, so it's Kane Flanagan. Right on half forward. Looks, kicks long. That's a beautiful big kick to the goal square. Big fly, big pack of hands. Off hands, clearance. Princes finds Jolly in the back pocket. Short, crab kick. Quick hands, Lucas McCoy over. Hands again, quick kick, mark. Here's the quick crab, the movement. They're trying to open up the game. It's been very, very close and checking. But now Broadview have found a man. They've manned up beautifully. It's 1-on-1. So the long kick has to go down the line. Player gets in front, takes him out the way. Arms go flying in the air. Think, come look at me, umpire. Yeah, I reckon that's Wildman again with the handball out wide. Another handball forward. This time it's one. Taps it forward this time. Grabs the ball. Craig Pitt turns, centres it right out and half forward. Big pack forms. Hands on the ball. Comes down. Clearance. Dominic Pratico out of the back line again, finds. Oh, spoiled the handball. He turned it over. He's got the ball. Leads straight at him there. Goes over his back. Umpire pushes him accidentally. Lets it go. And he rushes the point. Well done, Jay O'Leary. Jay O'Leary kicks in quickly.
Well, opportunity now for Sam Danielle. He finds the asset of Chol Anyang, who's had a difficult day against Jordan Neal, but he continues to compete at the very least, and that's all you can do sometimes when you are being outmatched. Big mark there, or at least paid chop in the arms. One of the two. It'll go to Hamish Ralph, who's too far up the ground to score from his perspective, his normal position, but can he get it down there? Deepest position was Carlisle. Couldn't quite get it moving forward. In fact, it's been held up. It'll eventually spill over the boundary line. It will come back into the hands of Broadview, though, through last touch, though. Taking the liberty of the kick is Jay O'Leary. He's also too far out for his normal scoring range. He's kicked 2 in the match. Only multi-goal kicker for Broadview so far. Centres it up. Good kick there from Ben Manning. Ricochets, bounces on the turf. Prince Alfred had all the numbers though. Shrangrove had one of Jolly or Curran to choose from. Decided to pile up more options in the corridor. Pritchard in the middle, kicks out to the side. Almost a favourable kick, but now to challenge for Davis, and he's been outgunned here only temporarily though by Mackenzie. There'll be a free kick going the way of Mackenzie though. They've still got a chance. Broadview, they're hanging in, and they didn't allow for easy scoreboard shift momentum there. O'Leary goes to the other side. Other side of the centre square, that is. Far side of the centre square. It's in the hands of Mackenzie again. He's indecisive. Looked towards the middle, but didn't hit his man Lace out. So now they're going to have to get and go. He was tossed well through it, and I don't really know if that's holding the ball. He didn't have much prior because the ball bounced. If the kick was just a little better, then we wouldn't have been having that problem, though. Intercepted again by Broadview. Ball well read there by the efforts of Pratico. Goes far out wide. Oh, big head collision. No free kick paid. Big tackle. That will be paid. Holding the ball. And give me a moment to take my breath, Tim, because this has been some pretty exciting stuff this last minute.
Kane Flanagan there, really good effort. Cam's back, gets hold of the ball. That was really strong there by him and Wildman. Back to Pratico. Running player goes past. Good pace, 8. Finds Sam Danielle, lowers the eyes. That's a very good kick. Callum Flanagan kicks the ball wide. He plays play on, calls play on. He's running into an open goal from 10 yards out and misses to the right-hand side. He heard a loud expletive as he missed it, but that was the opportunity that Broadies needed to get back in this game straight away. However, much better play, and they have really come out this quarter playing good football. Sun is shining, the wind has dropped. The scoring end is to the left of screen, but right now there's a bit of play in the middle of the field here. As they kick in, he runs outside the centre square and kicks it long and wide. Finds Lucas Schultz taking a tumbling mark in the half-back flank area on this right-hand club side. He kicks over the top of the player, but unfortunately it drifts out of bounds on the full.
Opportunity again for Broadview. A couple of sloppy turnovers, uncharacteristic turnovers for Prince Alfred in this quarter. They have to expose that Broadview. They won't get many chances like that one. We don't see many things like that one. But we saw it just then. What a mark. Definitely a contender for Mark of the Year. And that will hopefully be a shining light on what could still be a shiny day for Broadview. What a mark. That was Dominic Pratico. He's the man who will be riding the car home today, regardless of the result afterwards. Can he cap it off with a goal, though? That's the part that matters, the scoreboard impact. He's already got the posters. He needs the 6 points. He won't get it, just the one.
Goodness me.
Opportunity gone wayward. 25 points the margin stands.
Deserved a goal, Indy. What a great mark that was. Got fly, one grab, took it into the ground. Goodness me. So they've come out with a bit of fight here. A couple of opportunities there would get them right back into the game, but now they've got the pressure on the scoreboard with 2 points. Jolly kicks in, finds Luke McCauley all by himself. The split there happened. Kicks long and wide to the wing. Curran bumps in, falls down, just misses it. Jacko give it over the top. Gets caught just as about to handball it. Hands, quick hands. Kicks out wide, takes the mark. A lot of pressure on there. Gets to play on. I think there's a definite... Hang on. Oh, the umpire's called him back. I think there's some definite intent here from Broadview to move the ball a bit faster. They have been far too slow in the first half, and every time they get it now, they're looking to go. That's also a small loss for them because it gives time for the Prince Alfred defenders to set up. Absolutely. Don't know what the umpire's on about there. When the player got up, he was standing on the right side and handled a guy running past. But Jay O'Leary looks, turns sideways, finds Jackson Wilson. Jackson Wilson kicks over the top. Unfortunately, he's turned it over. Straight into the middle. Andrew Bradley gets the ball, hands straight off to Trengove, straight off to Jolly. Ball bounces in his hands, gets tackled, breaks the tackle, gives it back, looks wide. Outstanding on his own is Craig Pitt. 45 metres out. There's two played to him too late. He's turned his back on the forwards here, so he's made up his mind he's going to have a shot from goal. Something you learn in your early days, don't turn your back to the play no matter how far out you are. Wildman goes to run past, probably got a bigger leg. But Pitt obviously very confident here, he's going to kick this. As we said, conditions have dropped, the wind has dropped. It's going to make me look foolish here and slot this straight through. And doesn't make the distance. Kicks wide, strong mark in the goal square. Ruckman not back there to add that support, standing at centre half forward. As Oliver Clark jumps, takes a clean mark, kicks his third goal, and Broadies have rued those missed chances early in that quarter to only have Princes come down and kick their first goal of the quarter.
31 points the margin is, and if I'm correct, that could be game high margin. I think 32 might have been the alternative.
Yep.
Well, that does hurt though, because Broadview had a couple of early set shot opportunities and just really blew a lot of them after that spectacular mark from Dominic Pratico. That could have been a fire starter, but it's only turned out to be a little flashy moment on what we fear could be a grim afternoon and remainder of afternoon for Broadview. Jolly not making that any easier for them. Craig Pitt, beautiful darting kick to Tyson Brazel. He'll look for goal number 3 now. So
beautiful pass.
It's just that pinpoint accurate football and not the type of play that you want coming out of the centre square after all the work. I mean, that's the thing, is when you spend so much time down at one end and then you concede a goal at another, you've still deprived yourself of that energy, and getting back into the centre square mix isn't as comfortable as you'd like to feel it could be. So unfortunately, this will be another score, inevitably, you'd think. It'll be a major score too. Tyson Brazel, game high, 37-point margin. I reckon Prince Alfred have got the chocolates now, and I don't think their top of the ladder spot will be under any immediate threat after this afternoon.
That was a fantastic clearance there from Jolly in the centre, who kicked out wide, found Pitt, who just played on really quickly. And Jaden Ryan was standing right alongside Tyson Brazel there. He was absolutely giving him no space whatsoever, but the kick was to the front side of Brazel, and he just had to put his chest that side, and he managed to mark it. That was really well played. We're back in the centre. Neil against Chol Anyang. He jumps, that left-handed, right-handed. The ball's always going one way. It's not going any other way. Picked up quickly. Oh, we're running out with the clearance. Prince Alfred, he's called play on. He's called play on. He's called advantage there for whatever the reason was. The players have stopped. The ball has bounced up. It's come sideways to Josh Perks, who's turned around and snapped the goal. One of those abnormalities about when you pay a free kick, the whistle blows and everyone stops, and then when the umpire calls it play on, it causes a bit of confusion down here in the back line there for the Broadview players. But well done there to Josh Perks to capitalise on that with a lovely snap around the corner, straight through the middle for a goal, as they now stretch it from 13 goals 6 Prince Alfred to 6 goals 5 Broadview.
Well, Matthew Burgess would either be pulling his hair or snapping a knee onto his clipboard at the moment, because they just haven't done enough, Broadview, to address the defensive leakage that they've had ever since the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. Scholl not getting the tap out. Prince Alfred extra numbers setting up defensively, although it seems like the tackle swarm will build instead. The umpire was patient with it, but ultimately it was just the ball up call. So 13 goals 6 to 6 goals 5. You're on the Make Sure Red FI live stream with Tim Pillion and Indiana Rogers as we come back to the play in front of us, only to find Broadview still struggling to get it forward, although a minor clearance here almost went into the hands of Pritchard, but he had to set up behind himself just to make sure that he could at least trap it. Prince Alfred have trapped it, but now in the wrong forward 50. So, ball to be thrown up. Jordan Neal, thumping tap out. Broadview, some numbers around the stoppage, a vacancy, and probably a vacant brain based on the execution of that kick.
Oh, he had no pressure on him there to kick that around the corner and score. He's made the distance comfortably, but he's hit it fat. He's kicked the ball straight in the middle rather than on the end for it to curl. Out of bounds on the full. Prince Alfred, clearance, long, hard, fast, low kick, but turns it over, straight into the waiting arms of a Broadview player. He's on the wing. He looks. Another good, hard, low, strong kick. That's a ripper. Hits a fast leading player. Straight on the chest. Now that's either Carlisle, I reckon it is, or Pratico, one or the other. Too far away, guys, with the sun shining to look at that number. Without knowing the players intimately, it's really hard. But he is 40 metres out on a really acute angle. But what deserves a goal is a very good pass, a very good mark, and now a left foot kick. Lines up and splits the centre as the players go running over to him. So the left foot there of very good goal, and a much needed goal there from the Broadview players. Let's have a look. Whoa. Is it Lachlan McKenzie? I think it is. Oh. Or is it Anthony Carlisle? One or the other. Help me out here.
I reckon it might have been Carlisle.
Yeah, it looks like Carlisle. The left foot threw me a little bit there. Okay, we're back into the centre. Jordan Neal and Chol Anyang, two really good taps there, one each for the two throw-ups so far. Jordan Neal gets up with that left hand and taps it backwards behind the play where Jolly was waiting, but the players picked it up. Nick Little picks it up, gets collared by two other players. Umpire said, give it to me again. You're in the middle of the slosh. Third player came over the top that time and kicks it. PAC high ball, good spoil, well rowed. Mitch Larson on the left kicks it around the corner, centres it beautifully, and you'll find Josh Perks, good pair of jukes there, takes a one grab mark, 20 metres out, directly in front.
I don't know if the scoreboard was updated after that goal from Carlisle. I didn't really see any adjustments made to it.
Let's have a look here. Josh Perks, after kicking that last goal on the snap on the run, has now got himself a dead set shot, puts the ball on the ground, wipes the hands, gets rid of a bit of the mud on the ball. Looks, drops the ball, umpire does not move, and straight through it goes for Josh Perks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 goals, 6 for PAC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it should be 7-5 for the visitors. They put it up now, so there you go.
Here we go.
7 goal margin for Prince Alfred. They've got this game on their terms. Broadview aren't giving up and they are not throwing in the towel. And gee, it's a really involving duel here in the centre. It's Chol in the centre again. Now, Princes have put in their second ruck, which is Lucas Schultz, but Chol has been there all day.
Yeah, and I reckon they can afford to rest Jordan Neal a bit now because they know that they've got the drop on that matchup. There's no point in really sticking him there, and if he needs to take a couple extra seconds for break, then so be it.
Wildman.
They'll go right the other way as well. Wildman with another intercept. He's been impressive today. We like the game that he's been putting together. Chol tried to hand pass it out of trouble. Broadview themselves looking to get out of trouble now. And they ran right back into it. Oh, no mark paid. Jaden Davis wasn't even really given much of an opportunity to get rid of it. Oh, just a bit of verbal exchange there with the umpire and Nick Little over some disagreements. Well, it's been turned right over, so wasn't much point in that verbal exchange by the end of it. Joshua Garrels looks forward to the pocket, and this could be an opportunity for a third quarter goal from Josh Perks.
That's right.
3 goals in a quarter looming if he can get this one through. Sun just seeping back onto the ground as a quick conditions update as well, although I'm sure you would have seen that. We're hoping that the midst of the rain, the remainder of it for today is basically gone, or at least won't be hitting the parklands. Can Josh Perks hit the ball properly? It actually sounded like it came off of the fingers of Well, even if it did come off of the fingers of the Broadview defender, it's been marked by Oliver Clark. And he will become the leading goal kicker of the game because that's number 4 for Oliver Clark.
Watching Josh Perks there take the ball, take the mark here. One of my pet hates, put the ball on the ground, wiped his hands looking straight at the ground, and one of the players had led into the pocket and was all by himself. Then goes back to have a shot on goal and doesn't make distance. 2 and 2, but it's paid off for both of them because they've had strong marks taken in the square. That was a very good mark by Oliver Clark. Swings around the corner, snaps it truly for his 4th goal. Back into the centre. Cholang Yang up against Lucas Schultz. Oh, Chol ends up straight in the mud on his back. Handball off, too slow, but the Broadview player didn't know there was someone behind him tackling him there. Gets caught holding the ball as he's run down. Ball sitting on the ground, being protected there by Sam Danielle. And there's the handball running past. Inside out Torp. Player waiting for it there. Well done. Cuts it off. Broadview kicks sideways, kicks long over to Sam Daniel. Sam Daniel runs, fakes the handball, looks, tumbles the ball out wide, doesn't find him. Campbell Wildman cuts it off, looks, handball, Jolly, looks, lowers the eyes, man in the pocket all by himself, looking into the sun. Good mark. Now keep looking, he's on the angle, keep looking. Jaden Davis, he's going to go around the corner again, putting the ball on the ground.
For goal number 35 of the year.
Lays on with the left foot, didn't quite connect with it 100%, but it was still good enough online and makes the distance, and a very good goal there. Prince Alfred worked the ball beautifully here, pass, handball, finds a man in the forward line. Very good play, Jaden Davis. Oh, they're getting away now, 16-6 to 7-5. It's just going to be about a high-scoring game with regards to 23 goals kicked in this game, and we're only midway through the 3rd term. It's going to be a big score happening here.
It'll be a big fallout from the fade-out in this 3rd quarter. I mean, they already faded a lot in the early stages of that 2nd term, but now it's really just a one-sided affair. It's basically Prince Alfred by how much at this point, although something to conjure up from Nick Little as he goes forward. Bit of ricochet. Down towards the pocket. Can they keep it alive? Prince Alfred's tackling pressure won't allow it. Pritchard working with teammates, going over the head of the intended target. And by the looks of things, we will get a set shot through what looks like Cooper O'Leary. At least from my current perspective, the extent of my knowledge, I reckon that is Cooper O'Leary. 90% sure. And he'd be about 90% chance to kick the goal. He doesn't. Maybe 90% chance was a little bit much, but still from the angle it was on, and with the wind dropping off a bit as well as another conditions update, that won't do them much help on the scoreboard.
Prince's play on quickly, finds Luke McCauley in the back pocket, kicks long down the wing, bit of a helicopter ball, and chipping in and cutting it off is Jaden Ryan. Kicks long and wide, out to the big fella there in Carlisle, handballs over the top. Handball down, kicks to the goal square, umpire runs across, and no, in the back line there, Mitch Wicks gets back, kicks straight away and fast to the other side. They've got players running everywhere. Now we've got an open ballpark, which is exactly the run that they're looking for. To Curran, gets run down from behind, a good chase, kicks low, picked up beautifully by Andrew Bradley with a handball on. Mitch Larson kicks long and high, it's 1-on-1. Very good jostling for position there by the Broadview player to get front position, take a strong mark in front of Jaden Davis. Slows down a really good transition there play by Prince's. Who's that? It was Lachlan McKenzie, a very good mark. Kicks long and wide to the wing. Ball spoiled, gets over the back. 2 players bend down, look it up, but it doesn't. They look at each other, and one Broadview player picks it up, kicks long. It's 2-on-1 here, flies high, it's over the back. Wildman picks up the ball in the back pocket, tucks it under his arm, little handball over the top, runs back. Lovely low park kick, sees the Guernsey. Trengo kicks up, kicks short. Clark. Now the run's happening. There's spread everywhere here. Jolly just runs up from behind. Doesn't have to change stride as the kick lowers his ice. And again, really good play there by the Broadview player to get in front. Who's that? Jaden Davis. Jolly looks over. Trengo waits for it. Little takes a punch, takes a second grab, takes a mark in the back pocket.
It's an opportunity now, although they haven't taken many from the back pocket, especially anywhere in the defensive half, Broadview. The Tigers would have to work a miracle from here, and time running out to do it. Time running out in this quarter as it is. They go forward, but forward to no man's land. Only a land dominated by Prince Alfred's valuable interceptors. Here's another Campbell Wildman playing one of his best games for the year, I'd say, at this point. Trying to get out of a bit of trouble here, but Oscar Clark makes that trouble short-lived. Oh, a bit of a risky kick, but standing his ground, Mackenzie Easley refused to say die in that contest. He looks on, sun setting on Park 9. Getting to the later stages of the afternoon, Pritchard didn't take the mark that he was supposed to. Umpire gave him some time to get rid of it, although ultimately realised he didn't have much prior opportunity. Not much time left in this quarter, you'd feel. Scholl trying to get it out. Wicks going through a couple of sets of hands until Wildman gets it out to a man on the outer, and the clearance wasn't so great, a little rough. Kick out from Ben Manning. Finds the far side. That looked like Samuel Rhodes down there on the wing. Ball stumbles, tumbles, almost comes over the line. Broadview trying to keep it within play. They do, but another missed forward conversion, which to be honest has been happening from both teams, but you'd have to look at the overall quantity of those conversions to really tell the story of where the game is at right now. That was another risky kick from the switch on, but tell you what, it's probably at a stage of the game it doesn't matter. Still an ugly sight nonetheless. The shot will be taken by Anthony Carlisle, looking for goal number 2. He hasn't had his best day, as who's mostly been the deepest forward today. He strikes through on the left there.
Good turnover there on the half-forward flank. Ran quickly, didn't wait. Managed to cause a one-on-one, and the kick was weighted perfectly at the back there for Carlisle to put up the dukes and take the mark. Perfect conditions for football here today right now. The soft ground, the sun's shining, the wind has completely dropped away, so scoring can be done at both ends of the ground. Prince has got total control of this game. It's now spread out all over the field. There's switches happening, there's fast movement happening. We've got runners coming from everywhere, which is good to watch, and high scoring. 16-6 Prince Alfred Old Collegians, 8-6 to Broadview. And we're back in the centre. And we've got Jolene Young against Jordan Neal. Up they go. Ball tapped down. Jolly follows it through. Good tackle. Gets his kick to it as he gets to the ground. Good defensive play by the Broadview player there. Tyler McKenzie takes it off the ground, kicks it forward. Handball 1, handball 2, still going McKenzie. Throws it onto his left and jumps spoil. Jay handball out the front, get it back again. He looks, he kicks it this time. Does it got enough curl as it comes around? It's a point. Really good. Oh my goodness. Really good transition there by Broadview to take the ball from right down the back line all the way through the centre to get another score on the board. But unfortunately a point and a tail of lost chances there for Broadies. Probably 3 or 4 points, probably could have been 3 or 4 goals, which would have had them back in the game. But we have our three-quarter time score of 16-6 to 8-7. Prince has got good control of this, and we'll be back after the three-quarter time break.
Welcome back to Park 9. You're tuning into the Make Sure Ratify live stream for Adelaide Footy League Round 12 action with Tim Pillion and Indiana Rogers. At the moment, it seems like the third quarter was indeed the premiership points-worthy quarter for Prince Alfred Old Collegians. They lead 16 goals 6, 102 points to 8 goals 7, just the 55 points for Broadview. And it was a much more competitive match in the opening 10 minutes, but outside of that, it's pretty much been all Prince Alfred from there. And tell you what, they've had some of the most amazing intercept game today with the likes of Chris Curran as well as Campbell Wildman being huge to their chances of being able to pick off plays from the back line. And Mackenzie Slee, another name mentioning in there as well. Goal kickers include Oliver Clark with 4, Mitchell Larson with 3, as well as Josh Perks, Jaden Davis and Tyson Brazel with 2. Who were some of the best Broadview players?
Yeah, look, it changed a little bit there. Sam Danielle's been fantastic in the centre. They've been running all day. Jay O'Leary, the captain's been fighting and trailing all day, which is their small runners. Dominic Pratico had a good quarter. And I think, where is it? I've lost him at the front there. Nick Little had a little bit more of the ball that quarter too, came into the game, as did a little bit with Jack Trengove, because they've been running together for the most of that third quarter. Looking forward to this quarter. It is going to the scoring end. That breeze has picked up again. It's amazing how it dropped off and it's picked up again. Let's see if Prince Alfred can finish this off, or whether they're going to put the cue on the rack and just sit quietly.
So you'd expect Prince Alfred by how much at this point? Do they want the current goal kickers to add more to their bag, or do they want to enter more goal kickers onto the sheet? We'll find out. Jordan Neal trying to come through, just getting caught in a barrage of tackling pressure there. Seems like Andrew Bradley, who's had a bit of midfield presence, although hasn't been needing to win a whole lot of it, playing his role. That's the most important thing. Scholl managed to soccer it out of the ruck contest through mid-air. Didn't do much though. Wildman again. You'll hear that name a lot of times today. Early contender for the thongs and beanie, and he's held up that mantle for most of the game. It's an intercept here taken by Wicks. He looks forward. So Broadview deciding not to go too man on man. He conceded the lead there. And Craig Pitt, playing coach, looking to try and hit the scoreboard, but doesn't actually hit any particular target, although it came through hands, so I reckon that should be a throw, and no, it will be last touch. Broadview to work from the back pocket now. I reckon a lot of the Broadview fans who were next to this commentary box only half an hour to an hour ago have dissipated at this point. Credit to them, they were very vocal in the stages where they were building a bit of momentum, but
they're in the bar, Indy.
Yeah, in the bar at this point, for many different reasons you could think of.
Good run.
Good run through the middle. Decided not to use the corridor in the end. Go back out to Tyler McKenzie. He slowed up with that kick, but Broadview don't slow down. Not yet. Hit it to Anthony Carlisle. You don't think he could kick his third goal from out here, but at this point of the game, you may as well try anything you can muster your hands on. He's not taking the full 30, but he is lining up as if to replicate his normal set shot routine, but instead chips it off and gets a much better, higher percentage shot from a teammate. Nicely set up there. Lachlan McKenzie again is pushed up forward. So they'd practically have to double their own score to somehow rival Prince Alfred at this stage of the game. I don't think it could happen. And it won't happen with that kick either. In fact, I reckon it's missed everything it has. So we kicked back in by Prince Alfred.
Chris Curran takes the kick as it goes out of bounds on the full. The breeze has picked up a little bit. That ball was taken by the breeze as it swifted across. He runs, kicks long and wide to the pack. Oh, good mark. Strong hands in front. The umpire's going to pay that. Man in front of the pack. Lucas Schultz takes a good mark. He stops. He looks. We go down the line. Looks like it. Strong kick. To the ruck. Jordan Neal gets his hands up, goes over the back. Broadview player picks up handball, bad bounce. run with the ball. Handball over the top. Luke McCauley. Campbell Pritchard running back, gets over his head. Little fella, look at Shook. Jackson Wilson picks it up, runs on. That looks like Ethan Smith kicks. Beautiful big jump at the back there by Hamish Ralph. Been very good as a forward today with good hands over the top of Chris Curran. That was amazing.
I reckon the scorekeepers, they haven't added that extra minus score yet. Maybe, I reckon they are Prince Alfred fans because I don't think they're in a particular haste to add anything additional to the Broadview tally.
Hamish Ralph been very strong today. Good hands, taking a couple of good marks. Hasn't been rewarded with many goals, but he walks in, pops that through. The umpire has a little bit of movement, but that's through for his second goal of the day, and a much needed one by Broadview. It's on the full, that's right, it was too. 16-6 to 9-7. No, that scoreboard was on the full.
That's right, I stand corrected. Thank you to our filmer today, Harry Lambert, for not only giving us the production, but also correcting my incompetency in that instance. We come back to the cricket pitch now, which is held up for most of the day pretty well, and I reckon hasn't been too muddy. You talked about, did you walk on there before the game, Tim, and you said something about the way it felt. It
was a bit crusty, so look, you know, with the sun all week, that being a sticky wicket, as I say, it had some crusty, sharp edges to it. And with the B-grade players not using it and using the side, it was always going to be a little crusty. We had some rain, but it will be tough in there, it will be hard in there, but the players have run all through it all day, so it'll be softened up now. Anyhow, we're back in the centre, gets his jumper pulled off there, the Broadview player, as he fumbles forward, picks it up really well, taps forward, Jolly behind the play beautifully, sells the dummy to Chol. Josh Garrells handballs over the top, Wildman, ducks, handballs, running past Curran. Long kick out of defence to half forward. The ball goes up high, strong hands. Spoils down in front, well collected. Ben Manning at the back there. Handballs backwards. He kicks long way, cross goal. Had a feeling, a shot on goal then, but I had a feeling, thought they were going the other way, but he switched it all the way back. Takes the mark. Looks out on the wing all by himself. Jackson Wilson, I think. Watches, looks, where's the movement? Not a lot coming. Looks down the wing, taps it wide and out of bounds. On the wing, right in front of the coach's box. Here, start of the last quarter.
And the coach would be pretty happy right in there on the field, Craig Pitt. So he's not really his box per se, but more of the fans' box. I guess they could be considered coaches in their own rights. Ball thrown back in. Sun is dissipated for the moment. Wind hasn't picked up, but it is starting to feel chilly as you'd expect as we near the closing stages of the day. Going deeper forward. Wildman did a good job to flick it out there. Singleton. It was almost 3-on-2, I reckon, but so many fists went up that no one was going to come out of it. The chaos of that pack. It's another throw in. As patches of blue sky and patches of overcast.
Mitch Wicks all by himself here off the back of the pack. Ball goes down forward, little tap, kicks up high. Who's going to get this? Runs to it, well done. Play in front. Mark taken by Lachlan McKenzie, looks inwards over the top, and there's those beautiful hands again by Hamish Ralph on the side. Playing in front, Chris Curran. Lead, the kick wasn't perfect, but he made it happen with the beautiful sticky hands. Let's hope he makes the most of this. Offered a really good target up front today. He's done really well. No momentum, but he just pops it straight through the middle. He's got that funny little gate. Hamish Ralph, 3 goals for the match so far. Broadview, 2 goals in this quarter. 16-6 to 10-7. It's amazing for the dominance that Prince Alfred had all day. It's only a 6-goal margin. I say that, it's a good margin. They're going to win the game. But they have fought all day to 10 goals against a very good side.
It would at least be amusing for them to give a slight scare in these next 10 minutes, although I reckon, considering that they've been resting Jordan Neal a little bit and probably just resting their best players up, because let's face it, September's not long away and you need to get your best players' bodies right at this point. So there's no use selling the farm now. Jolly missed it. Trying to get through a set of Broadview hands. It'll be cleared forward. Goes over the head of the intended one-on-one contest. There's Carlisle. It misses him as well. Good work from Larson, who's gone back into defensive territory. Caught! Mackenzie Slee was caught with his hands right in the cookie jar or the Pringle bottle, depending on what your taste is. Carlisle looks not to go for goal. He tried to set it up. It'll go to the square. It won't get through for a goal off the deck. It might be rushed through it behind. No, it will be a ball up. I reckon Carlisle probably should have taken a shot at goal there.
He had the lead by the in-form Hamish Ralph, and the defensive player by, tapped it backwards, rushed through. Defensive player, it was Luke McCauley, ran back with great courage to take the whack and close down that space. All right, we're looking. He's looking straight down the middle. Campbell Wildman looks, aims to go long, but just gives a small kick, hands it over to Lachlan McNamara. He's got the ball right in the true centre back position. He's only looking straight down the middle, and there he is all by himself, kicks it over his head. Cameron Pritchard recovers. Hamble out the back. He looks, now we go sideways to the player out wide, all by himself. Mackenzie Slee looks, he's going to go inwards. They've cut it off, so he goes short. I reckon that is Mitch Larson. It is. He's done well.
He was in the defence earlier.
Yeah, good, beautiful left leg. Look at that. Swings off a couple of steps, swings it long, high. Players. He's given a free kick away. Umpire from the middle of the ground has called that free kick, and I reckon it's to do with language against PAC, and the other umpire now has taken a second free kick and paid 25. Prince is not happy with something that's happened there, and they've been a bit verbal about that. Here we go. I reckon that's Jaden Ryan, who's snuck down. In the free, at the back, Hamish Ralph gets the ball, throws it out. Umpire sees it as holding the ball. Good tackle by Chris Curran. Deep in defence. He looks short. Mackenzie Slee with the blue boots. As the game is opened up now, they're spread all over the ground here. They're running in all different directions. Prince Alfred, obviously a very fit side, as the ball kicks long down the wing.
Coming down it does. Prince Alfred trying to flick it out goal side here. Jordan Neal to Larson. He's pushing up the ground again, but he lost it. Although there might be a late call for a trip or holding infringement. Oh, a little stiff, but sometimes this late in the game you do have to be a bit more precise. In fact, it's a 25-metre penalty as well.
Did that come from verbiage that came off the bench, from the coach's bench there?
I
the
think
umpire
so.
Looking as he did it, he gave a very animated wave of 25. I don't reckon it was any players. I reckon that came from the Broadview coach.
Yeah.
And therefore they paid against him. Is that allowed? We'll soon find out.
I reckon at this point of the game, if you are the coach, you just got to focus a little bit more on your own game, and Matthew Burgess would rule that moment.
Mitch Larson having a shot here. He's right on the inside of the square.
Oh, he's kicking into the man on the mark. So
he had to go for every minute there, so he went too close to the man on the mark. So
Craig Pitt had to hog the ball in, lock it up for another stoppage here. It is in Prince Alfred territory. Score currently sits as 68 for Broadview. Their highest of the year is 92. That was in a winning performance. They have not kicked over the 100-point mark, although they have conceded above the 100-point mark a couple times. This will be another one of them. They clear it out momentarily. Good fist there from Macaulay. Hasn't had a lot of the ball today, but I have liked some of his defensive efforts too. Broadview lost it there. Didn't want to concede to the boundary line, although eventually were forced to, as traffic in the background starts to bustle. Winners eased off, and I reckon the result is almost all she wrote.
They're still, Broadview are not throwing in the towel. They are fighting hard. They're doing well. Huge effort by Chol to be rucking all day by himself. Hasn't been off the field once. I reckon he had a small cutout in the first quarter, but that person now is playing a key position in Hamish Ralph, and that's the reason why they're playing at the full forward. Kicks 3 goals. Ball thrown in over the top. No one touches it. Kick off the foot. Here we go. Broadview. Kick it back into the centre of the ground. Good body work there by Luke McCauley. Just gives him a little nudge out. Goes short. Lowers the eyes. There's the lead. Finds Jack Trengove. Lowers the eyes. There's the lead. and finds, oh, who's that? I reckon that is Josh Perks.
We had 2 goals in the third quarter. Josh Perks almost had a third.
Or is it Lucas Schultz? Might be Lucas
might
Schultz.
be, yeah.
It's Lucas Schultz.
We got that 1 goal from right on the line. Let's see how he does with a set shot.
Yeah, well, good distance, but the ball's carrying a long way today. Players are kicking him from a good way down that end. The 50-metre line is where the umpire's standing, so that's where he's kicking just inside, should I say. He's over it now. Bang. 45 metres. He's going to make the distance eagerly. It's all about the accuracy, and he pops it straight through. Lucas Schultz kicks his second goal. Prince Alfred, 17 goals 6. Broadview, 10 goal 8. Huge effort by the 2 ruckmen in the field today. Huge effort. Jordan Neal, interesting, left, what do you call him, a southpaw, left-handed, jumped left-handed all day. Chol therefore has come, rather than come straight across him in the muddy area, he's come from the angle of the centre of the pitch. And with the right hand and the left hand both going the same direction, the ball can only go in one direction, and that's that way, backwards. So the players are setting up for that. And here we go. Quick hands by Jolly out of the centre. He's being held onto there. Prince's player gets the ball. I reckon that is Lachlan McNamara. Puts his hand up, forwards it in. Big pack of players. Big tackle. Umpire says too high, unfortunately, and you landed on him and you rode him into the ground and you're in his back. So I'll give him the free kick. The Broadview player picks it up. Looks. Goes short, goes sideways. And again, I reckon that is Hamish Ralph in the back line. Finds the ball. No, it's not. No, it's not. As they start sideways, in trouble here, got a hand up to it. They're looking again. Out of defence this time, finds a good mark. Plays quickly, man behind him, gets to him. Caught on the ball, just as he's about to kick it, he dragged him down, the ball missed his leg. Plays on quickly.
Oh, out it comes. Back in it goes though, momentarily. A whistle off the ball, advantage will be paid as Broadview look to weed their way out of the defence. Only 1 hand up for Mackenzie. 2 hands didn't come down either. Wicks goes forward. Pack set up, no mark. Into the pocket. Ooh, tackle from Craig Pitt was good. A little bit in the back. In fact, no, it was a very good tackle. It will be rewarded with the set shot. And Craig Pitt, as the playing coach, hasn't had the most standout day, but he's been a leader from the front, and his leadership clearly a reason for why Prince Alfred are at the top of the ladder right now. I don't know if this will be a main go-to blueprint performance today, but, well, I think they'll definitely call it one of their better wins of the year, considering the final margin, which could only get bigger based on the way they're playing right now. Craig Pitt from the pocket, doesn't want to reel around his arc, in fact he wants to use it. Goes the drop punt. And slots it.
Yep.
It's all high fives at this point for Prince Alfred, and not much more to say about the result itself, but more about the different factors that make this team as good as it is. And I mean, look, if you are Craig Pitt, you could be nitpicky and pick out those first 10 minutes of the game and say, that's where we got to train next week to improve on. But a performance like this is still very complete overall, and mostly consistent.
You called it earlier, Indy, it's a 4-quarter game, so they started slow, but Broadview had to start well. That was the idea of the game, and remember at quarter time they were in front anyhow, Prince Alfred, so they fought back. We're back in the centre. Jordan Neal's having a rest. Chol's still there though. Herculean effort by Chol as he gets up, but unfortunately Jolly picks it up, gives it to the second ruck in Lucas Schultz, kicks the ball forward. Good body work there and a good spoil over the top there by Jaden Ryan. Umpires, long way over there. Boundary umpire picks it up. It says, I'll have it in front of the light tower, right over on the 50-metre line in the arc. Forward line for Prince Alfred. Late in the day, all ball calls sideways. Broady, get the ball, handball, get pack again. Oh, what's he done? He's given it holding the ball. Put him slowly on the ground. I reckon that Trengove looks, finds the fast leading player out from full forward. That's a beautiful kick as a pinpoint accuracy over the defender's hands. Finds Craig Pitt again on the lead. He's now directly in front. Long run up. He's walked his way straight back to the cricket pitch. 40 metres out. Pitty for 2 in 2 minutes. A little bit of Josh Kennedy there with a hot skip and a jump. He lines it up and it just sneaks in as it has a little bit of left-hand curve out swinger there, but it just makes it through, and they're really asserting it now. 19 goal 6 to 10 goal 8. Just a matter of whether they can hang on now or how far. But a very good performance, perfect day for football conditions. Such a good kicking team are Prince Alfred Old Collegians. They really do find targets when they kick. They are really drilled to kicking the ball short and leading at a player rather than leading sideways, and they look for it. A couple of weeks ago when I was here calling them, they went sideways a lot more. Today they've played a little bit more direct rather than going sideways. We're back into the centre. Scholl up against Lucas Schultz. Schultz jumps in front of him, gets the ball down. Handball over the top. Broadview player bends down, picks it up. Come on, Flanagan, he's caught down, he's out. Here we go. Lachlan McNamara picks up the ball. 2 bounces, runs out of the centre. Refuses the short lead by Larson, goes long to the goal square. There are some strong hands there. Have they paid that mark? I reckon they have. Just going to see if that is Pitt again. No, it is Mitch Wicks. So even though the player from Prince Alfred was screaming at him, McNamara running out saying, come on, I'm on the lead, lower your eyes and kick it to me. He's gone long and got the better option with a mark in the goal square. Wicks. 1 kick, 1 goal, straight through the middle, and now that's his first for the game. That puts it 20 goal 6 to 10 goal 8, and that all came down to that clearance out of the centre, Indy.
It did. I think at this point, what it really traces down to is just the sheer ability that Prince Alfred have to really spread their opposition out, but also lock it in their arc. They are a versatile team. They don't play one specific brand that can be shut down through extensive homework. You've almost got to do that homework within the game itself and prepare for that type of adjustment, and even then it's always a gamble. So they will be one of the most difficult teams to beat come finals time. And well, the race for 5th position continues, and despite Teatree slipping a couple games themselves, they are still a chance to maintain that spot if Brighton and Broadview continue to sell off a couple more games. Here's Chris Curran. You knew it was coming forward for the Tigers, but you just knew he would be all over it, and he's been so superb today as Chris Curran. I don't really think you could ask for a more valuable asset.
Okay, Prince Alfred switched the ball sideways. Patrick Singleton's got the ball in the back pocket. Done a job today very quietly in his back pocket. Players are leading. Nope, he goes sideways. Waits for the loose man. Unfortunately, he waited too long. Broadview player got back, was managed to spoil it. 1-on-1. Oh, umpire, don't know if that's holding the ball, but 1-on-1, falls on the ground. Gives it to him. Josh Garrels picks up the ball, goes long, finds a player, good strong hands on the wing. That will be looking. Players are still leading, they've still got legs, they've still got the energy, they present well. That was Pitt. Pitt lowers the eyes again, look at that, kicking, rolls, straight away rolls, straightens his body. Kicks long this time. There's another lead, strong hands, 1, 2 juggles, head picked up by Choll,